my gosh. Hi. Good to see you, friends, even though I can't see you at all. It's nice to be here with you guys. I didn't realize how much I was missing Katie Church, not having done it for a while. My energies were elsewhere, and now my energies are back. I woke up this morning. First thing I thought this morning was, oh, we're doing Katie Church today. Hooray. So, what are we up to today? We might be a small but mighty band, and that's fine by me. Just wanted to put the energy out there for question and answer, guidance and direction, channeled healing, whatever folks need. So instead of me gabbing and then taking some questions on a topic, I just wanted to open the floor to you guys and see what you're in need of. So today's a day, excuse my burps, for you to ask any questions at all that you might have about your own life, about the nature of time and space, about consciousness itself. Do I buy this house or that house? Do I quit my job? Do I keep my job? Is it in my highest good to blah, blah, blah? Why can't I stop blah, blah, blahing? How do I love myself more? How do I heal my knee? I always use the knee example. I'm not sure why. So truly, I'm here for you guys tonight, and I have zero agenda or things to talk about. So whenever you're ready, let's throw some questions in the chat. Before you guys hopped on, before we all hopped on, I opened the Akashic records of consciousness itself so that I'm tapped into a higher frequency of awareness than normal 3D life affords us. So I'm open and ready to take questions. So can't do that without questions, though. So throw them in the chat. Don't be shy. Remember, when you ask a question, it opens the door for understanding for other people as well. It also opens the door for other people to feel they have permission to ask a question. I know it's been a while since we've been here. So again, we may be a bit of a smaller group today, but we'll see what happens. All right. Thank you, Jacqueline, for the question. I tend to be an anxious person and my body reacts in embarrassing gastrointestinal ways. Got you. 2 days from now will be the first court hearing concerning an issue we talked one-on-one about back in August. The message was strongly that this is a huge part of my journey and that I will win. Oof, that still reads very strong. But I'm nervous about related things and also afraid while in the courtroom I will have an urgent need to run to the closest bathroom. I get a no on that. Is that she won't have energy? She won't be running to the no. Or is it like she won't be nervous about it? No, I think you won't be running to the bathroom. Do the record keepers, my spirit team, have a message for me regarding Friday or? I'm not sure what the or means. Maybe you can help me understand, my love, what you mean by the or. But let me just reread the question and make sure I'm understanding. Why don't you tell me a little more specifically what you said, I'm nervous about related things. What are the related things, first of all? And afraid that I'll have an urgent need. I get a hard no on, will you have an urgent need to go? No. And they give me this example. This is such a weird thing, how adrenaline works in the nervous system. So think of it this way. The human nervous system is connected very, very directly and very actively to consciousness and the divine light itself. So when I'm transmitting divine light for people into the heart, right, to heal past trauma, whether it's this life or a previous life, in order for that trauma to actually heal through the three-dimensional body, it necessarily has to work through the spinal column and the nervous system. So like, here's an example. I do a lot of performing, right? And performers often have this thing that we talk about that we all are like baffled by all the time, which is you'll be sick as a dog, can't get out of bed, can't go to work, can't do anything, can't sleep, can't eat. All you can do is lay there and suffer, right? But you have to do the show. Like let's say you're in a show when you're sick, you have to do it. Somehow, when you get to the show, even if you have like no voice and no energy and no anything, you get to the show and you nail the show. You can perform for that hour and a half. And performing is like much higher energy than normal life even requires of us in a lot of ways, right? So it makes no sense at all. But let's say you have the runs, or you may be about to vomit or something, but you have to do the show. Oftentimes the nervous system will just go, cool, got it. We're doing this for an hour and a half, surviving. And then we poo our brains out after. So when I feel into this, that's how they frame it for me. It's sort of like your body is going to understand that it needs to hold off. Now, here's another piece. When you go into the courtroom, ask consciousness or God itself, whatever you like to speak to, ask it through your heart center. Please keep my body healthy and relaxed so I don't have to run to the restroom during this process. And I think you're going to be fine. Okay. Help me understand, Jacqueline, what you mean by nervous about related things. And then I will help you understand. I'll happily answer any questions you have about that. But please share it with us as you're ready and able. Also, if you have other questions, Jacqueline, about being an anxious person and the gastrointestinal stuff, throw it in the chat. Now's your chance. It's free. Let's do it. You're here. I'm here. Take the opportunity. In the meantime, does anyone else have a question? And feel free, Jacqueline, to just throw these up as you're ready. Even if I'm talking to someone else, you can throw them in the chat whenever you're ready. What else, you guys? What else could folks use help with? If you just arrived, welcome here. I'm so glad you're here. We're just doing question and answer today, and I'm doing energy healing for the group if that comes up. But we're starting off with your questions. So what could you use guidance and direction with? What are you confused about in your own life? What are you uncertain about? What do you need clarity on? Throw it in the chat, and I'm ready for you. I'll just sit here and look pretty until you guys ask more questions. Yeah, I don't have a topic today. I'm here for you. So what do you need healing on? What are you wondering about? Have at it. What if we just have a staring contest awkwardly? The records are open. I'm connected in. What should I do specifically when my anxiety flares up generally? Okay, cool. Good question. All the other people that are here, please start to throw your questions in the chat. It's not too soon, and nothing you ask is too personal or too specific or too general or too political or too anything. Please bring your questions here. That's what we're here for. Okay, for Jacqueline Holbrook, what should she do when her anxiety flares up generally? Well, this is complicated because the first thing is to feel into it. So write in the chat, Jacqueline, for me, where in your body does the anxiety tend to get you? And what does it feel like? For example, is it like a shakiness in your heart? Is it a insecurity in your mind? Is it a tingling all over your body? Is it a numbness? Do you leave your body? What do you tend to experience physically when your anxiety flares up? Go ahead and put that in the chat. The second thing is you want to feel into the anxiety. What we tend to do with anxiety is we want to go away from the anxiety. So let's say your anxiety is like in your chest, like a wavy, panicky feeling in the chest. Go ahead and write that in for me, Jacqueline, so I know what we're talking about, okay? You want to drop into the center of that anxiety. It's going to be absolutely the opposite of what you want to do in the moment. What you want to do in the moment is like, make it go away, make it go away. Okay, heart racing and upset stomach. Fantastic. Let me see. All right, do me a favor, Jacqueline, right now, and this is for everybody. Thank you for the question, Rochelle. It's so good to see you. Hi. I'll get to you next, 100%. Okay, Jacqueline, and everybody else, feel free to take advantage of this since we're doing this. We're going to do a little healing on your nervous system on the brain stem. So Jacqueline, I want you to feel into the back of your neck and imagine that you're bringing your energetic awareness right now into your low belly by breathing into it. Relax and drop more into your body than you are right now. And then feel into the brain stem. Or think about it as like the spinal column, the nervous system at the center of the spinal column in the back of the neck. So you're connecting with your low belly and the back of your neck. And so we're asking for processing, integration, clearing for that which causes Jacqueline Holbrook to have anxiety generally. Some of this, Jacqueline, is old, unprocessed trauma. It's like a trauma response from something a long time ago. This lifetime, no. Okay. So should we run a past life clearing? Yes. So we're going to run a past life clearing for everybody here. So everybody, do me a favor. Take a breath into your low belly. And so we're calling up, good job. Breathe into your low belly. Relax your body into the chair you're in. Drop your shoulders about an inch. This is for everyone. Relax the back muscles. Try to soften the heart center and just become receptive. Drop out of the mind and into the belly. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. Holy Spirit of God, protect me from all forms of self-centeredness and direct my attention to the work at hand. Help me to know everybody here today on this live in the light of the Akashic records. Help me to see everybody here today on this live through the eyes of the Lords of the records and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of everyone here on this live have for everyone here on this live. Breathe into your bellies, guys. Feel into the bottoms of your feet. Relax the back muscles. Soften the heart. Yeah, notice how everything I'm asking you to do is anchoring you into your body, your torso below the throat. So we're calling up into conscious awareness for everybody here hearing these words. Any and all past life energies causing them to experience anxiety in any way in this lifetime. Specifically for Jacqueline Holbrook, we call it all up now. We ask it to be brought to present time for Jacqueline and anyone else who's hearing this right now. Stay with your body, Jacqueline. If it gets uncomfortable right now, stay with it. Go right into the center of where it's uncomfortable right now, Jacqueline and everyone else. Good job, everybody. Stay with it. You have to go right into the center of what is causing your problems in order to process it so it can be completed in your life. The only way out is through. All right, so we're calling up again one more layer of this into conscious awareness, all past life energies, commitments, vows, anything else from any past lives, harms done, harms received, etc., across all time, dimension, space, reality that create anxiety for Jacqueline and for anybody else hearing this now in this lifetime. We call it all up into conscious awareness. We ask that it be brought to present time and completed entirely so Jacqueline doesn't have to have anxiety just all the freaking time. Yeah, this is a good one for a couple of us here tonight. Okay. Jacqueline, can you type a little bit into the chat about what's happening for you in your body right now as we do this, if anything at all? And welcome here. If you came in a couple minutes late, we're just doing question and answer today and some energy healing for the group. So throw your questions in, please be specific into the chat and I'll respond to each one as we go. So Jacqueline, type for me if you can, what's happening for you in your body right now. What I'm getting, Jacqueline, for you is that like, this doesn't have to keep going. In other words, you don't have to be an anxious person for the rest of your life. Felt it in the heart, started crying. Yay. I know it seems weird that I'm happy when people cry, but crying is good when we're doing trauma healing because crying is an indication that we're releasing, right? Trauma in the heart or just unprocessed pain, you could say, which is what trauma is. Okay. Felt it in the heart, started crying. Great. And what's happening now in the heart, Jacqueline, or anywhere else? I get that before you felt it in the heart and then you started crying. Tell me what's happening now. Type it in the chat when you're ready. But I don't think you're gonna have to the question isn't how do I manage it when it comes up? The question is, how do I, like, completely clear the core issue underneath it so that it almost never happens? In the meantime and the answer is, like, do your energy healing work, like, come see me, have a couple sessions, let's just knock it out. We can knock it out in how many in 3 sessions. That's not a lot. That's not what I usually get. They usually give me not a very specific answer, and it's like, just keep showing up for your work. Whether you do it with me or someone else, doesn't matter. Just show up for your work. But you can clear things that create the symptom of anxiety. Anxiety, you guys, 9 times out of 10, anxiety, like 9.8 times out of 10, is an indication of something else. It's an indication of something unprocessed in the heart or the nervous system or both. So type for me, Jacqueline, if you can, what's happening for you now? And then let's do some work when you're ready and when you're able. I know it's not always easy to book a bunch of sessions at once, but when you're ready and when you're able, let's book 3 sessions for you and get you processing this. Before, feeling it in the heart was kind of having trouble connecting to the brainstem. Okay. And now, how about now? I'm asking you, how are you now? In the meantime, I'm going to move into some other folks here, but I'm going to come back to you, Jacqueline. So how are you now? What's happening now? Rochelle, one side of my family keeps having head bumps and falls, like so many. Is this a lineage thing? No, it's bizarre. Yes. When you say, Rochelle, one side of my family, can you tell me what you mean? Do you mean like your kids, but only the boy kids? Or do you mean like everyone on your mom's side of the family versus dad's side of the family? Help me understand what we're talking about when we say one side of the family. Husband side. Okay. Husband side of the family. Okay. And so, cool. I'm just tapping into that. Give me a second here. Let me reread your question. Dad's side of the family keeps having head bumps and falls like so many. Who are the people that have been having it? Is this a lineage thing? No. Is it like dad and dad's dad and like who is it specifically? Can you type it in the chat who it is specifically, Rochelle? So if it's not a lineage thing, consciousness, the records for Rochelle Olson Goosey, dad, sister's niece. I think that's what you mean. Those 3 groups, your dad, your sisters, and your niece, as opposed to like your dad's sister's niece. My dad's sister's niece is having your dad, your sisters, and your niece. Is that correct? 4 sisters and his mom. Whose mom? Whose mom? Your dad's mom? I'm so confused. This is a lot of people. I'm going to assume it's your dad, your sisters, and your niece. You tell me if that's wrong. I don't understand what 4 sisters and his mom means. I'm bad at family tree stuff. Okay, let me just check in about this. These bumps and my husband's side. Oh, my bad. Your husband's side. I didn't read that closely. Thank you. Your husband's side. So your husband's dad, your husband's 4 sisters, not your husband's dad's 4 sisters, sister-in-law, all 4. God, they got a lot of sisters-in-law. That's pretty cool. Or you have a lot of sisters-in-law. Got it. Your husband's side, his dad, and your husband's 4 sisters. They've all had head injuries and been falling? Let me ask you something. Do they live together or near each other, Rochelle? Husband's side, dad, and the 4 sisters. Tell me, do they live near each other? And niece, yes. But do they live near each other? Do they live in the same house? Do they live on the same block? Do they live in the same neighborhood? Tell me something about their living situation because it has to do with location somehow. I just need more info from you. Some within 7 miles. Okay. God, that's so interesting that they've all been having it. All right, let me ask a few questions out loud here. So is this like an entity thing, demonic thing, alien thing? Something about somebody's location. Yes. 1 person's location, 2 people's location, 2 people's, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 2 people's location. Is it the dad? No. Is it 2 of the sisters? Yes. Hmm. Can we just clear this right now? Yeah. Okay. So we're calling up into conscious awareness for Rochelle Olson Goosey's. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly? I cannot remember. Is it Goosey? Am I saying it correctly? Okay. We're calling up into conscious awareness. Rochelle Olson Goosey's husband's dad, husband's four sisters. Asking that you clear, release, process, uncreate, destroy anything and everything that's happening for any of them or all of them that's creating the head injuries, the bumping their heads, the falling. This is going to take a minute, Rochelle. Which two people is this about? Two of the sisters of her husband. Which ones? Close to him, far from him. Okay, we're calling up everything in them, any of the sisters, the dad or Rochelle's husband. Oof. Creating the head bumps, the injuries, the repetitive, whatever this is with the falling down and hurting themselves and hitting their heads. It's definitely originates in the brainstem, aka some unresolved trauma in two of the sisters. And because everybody else is so connected, like the ways that they're connected is pulling them all into the pattern. Is there any other origin? Do we need to understand it in order to clear it? No. Okay. So let's keep clearing everything for those four sisters, Rochelle's husband, and Rochelle's husband's dad, causing the head bumps. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, I'm about to get a little info here, but first we're just breaking this energy up. These women, oof, they're holding some deep unprocessed stuff in the brainstem, almost at the occipital ridge for both of them. Not almost, 100% trauma in the occipital ridge, that sort of this bump back here, like if you have your head lifted on someone's hands and you just relax it in the occipital ridge. All right, I'm going to ask you, consciousness, God, divine light, can you work on that for those two women and that whole family while I move on to other questions? No. Okay, did you already clear it? Yes. Okay. So are they going to have any further head injuries, hitting their heads, bumping their heads? No. What information can you give us about what this was about? No. Here's what it is: unconscious, unprocessed rage, fear, anger, heavy, heavy stuff, Rochelle, for these two sisters under the occipital ridge, right in here, that we just did a bunch of processing on that which was creating the head bumps. Record keepers, consciousness, anything we need to do to clear it for the other people who've been suffering to know. Is this complete? Yes. Okay. Well, that was easier than I thought it would be. Okay, Rochelle, please let me know if there's any follow-up questions to that. That was really interesting and odd. This makes me want to talk about a thing briefly, which is, thank you for the question. That was great, Rochelle. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. It makes me want to talk about this idea. There have been many times, you guys, where I've done like forgiveness work about a family member. Say, like I do a bunch of like grieving and rage and processing and energy light and pulling it out of the heart and sending it to the wherever, and the star beings are there, all kinds of wizardy shit on some topic. Sometimes it's directly related to the person, but sometimes not. Like sometimes I'm doing processing work on like my relationship to money, and then all of a sudden someone in my family will get better. A disease will just vanish in a way that they're like, we can't understand it. And then I look at the records and they're like, yeah, it's because you cleared that thing about money. That's not about me being awesome. That's just about how the mechanics of the universe work. In other words, when you do your work and you clear stuff for yourself, or anyone really. You have no idea who else that person is connected to in such a way that it's going to change the people they're connected to's lives. I've done stuff like healings on things about myself that have completely changed the lives of my family members out of nowhere. Wasn't intending it, wasn't trying to. It's just a secondary outcome because whoever you're connected to on the heart level, and whether we like it or not, we are connected on the heart level to the family members. Whoever we're connected to by the heart gets the benefit of the work we do on ourselves. So keep that in mind. It travels through time and space. You don't have to work on them directly. You don't have to be in the room. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, very cool. Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Okay. What did you say? I fell 5 times. No head though. Wait a minute. So you're part of it too? I thought it was just your husband's dad and your husband's sisters. It's you too? Do we need to do any clearing for Rochelle? No. Okay, I think you're fine now. But let me know. All right, let's come back to Jacqueline. Right now, I feel some relief, like a good sigh, but unsure in other parts of the body. Yes, I would love to book 3 sessions with you. I understand. Take your time whenever it's easy. Some relief, like a good sigh, but unsure in other parts of the body. I don't know what you mean by that, Jacqueline. Do you mean you're unsure of how you feel in other parts of the body, or do you mean you don't feel relief in other parts of the body? In which case, which parts of the body? Please tell me specifically now. Rochelle, it just started for you. Okay, cool. Please write that in the chat for me, Jacqueline. Is there anything for us consciousness clear for Rochelle so she doesn't have to hit her head or fall or any of that? Yes. Okay. Fell 5 times, no head though. Is this connected for Rochelle to the thing with the 2 sisters? Yes. Okay, so is this something we need to clear for Rochelle herself? Okay, yes. Okay, Rochelle, you ready? Like I'm not connected. Got you, Jacqueline. I'll come right back to you. Okay. All right, Rochelle. And remind me, how do I say your last name? Goosey, right? Is it Goosey? I don't know if the yes you just typed was in response to that question. Anyway, Rochelle Olsen Goosey. That which is causing her to fall. This is very odd, but can you feel into your left ear, Rochelle? Like right into the central canal of the left ear. This is past life. Okay, so we're calling up into conscious awareness all the past life energies for Rochelle Olsen Goosey that connect her to these 2 sisters of her husband that cause her to fall. Okay, and for everybody else hearing these words right now, if you want to take a couple breaths into your low belly, we're calling up into conscious awareness for everybody on the live right now, hearing these words. Any and all past life energies, unresolved issues from past lives, causing anyone to get injured, fall down, hurt themselves in any way, have physical ailments, car crashes, anything like that. Call it all up into conscious awareness, ask that it be completed and brought to present time now. Amen. Oof. Rochelle. This is a big one. Just meaning when this is complete, this should create a bunch of changes in your reality. Here's what I'm getting is like this thing with the whole family, it's like time right now. It's time. Like this thing, this web of interconnectedness between you guys that's all causing all this is just like, it was like, cool, we're clearing now. So we're going to make everybody fall down and hit their head all the time. so that everybody could deal with it. And thank goodness they have you in the family to come here to do this to clear it faster. So you don't have to just keep falling and not understanding what the hell is going on. All right. So have we cleared everything from the past lives for Rochelle Olsen-Lucy, creating the falling down for her? Yes. Is there more to clear from any other levels of consciousness for her, like this, like trauma, past, no. Okay, great. How do you feel right now, Rochelle? What are you noticing in your body? Any, well, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Type for me when you have a second, when you're ready. How do you feel? My niece ended up in hospital yesterday from a fall. God, what a wild thing. My ear is fluid. What do you mean by that? My ear is fluid? You mean there's fluid in your ear? Or do you mean the energy in your ear is moving fluidly? Sorry, I'm not understanding. Let me know what you mean. Whew. Okay, Jacqueline feeling not connected to the parts of herself. Yeah, Jacqueline, that's why feels like liquid moving now. Okay, I'll come right back to you, Rochelle. Rochelle, keep feeling into the ear liquid stuff. And then Jacqueline, that's why we need to do a few healings, because we need like real time to get in there, Jacqueline, and like process the ways that whatever this trauma is, this unprocessed grief for you in the brain stem, so you can be connected to the rest of the parts of your body. Is there anything else we can do about that now? No. Yeah, we need you fully connected, fully committed, fully present for a good 50 minutes so we can do a deep dive, Jacqueline, on this. Okay, let me explain this for everybody to understand. Feel all the way to my toe energy. Okay, I'll ask you some questions in a second, Rochelle, but for everybody to understand, this is great, Jacqueline, what you're dealing with, because this is helpful for everyone. Sometimes when we have unprocessed trauma, it lives, remember, in the heart center, oftentimes in the back of the heart center, because think about if your chakras are like this, like if this is your heart center and this is your spinal column and your face is facing this way, right? This is you side angle like this, okay? So if this is your heart chakra and this is your spinal column and your face is facing that way, where you have unprocessed pain from the past is living at the back of the heart chakra, where the heart chakra connects to the spinal column. So that blockage, you could say, that the unprocessed stuff at the back of your heart starts to literally clog up the central channel of your spinal column, which then makes it impossible for you to be connected with, or I'll put it to you this way, for you to experience the connection you have with the other parts of your body. So Jacqueline, in your case, it's like you can't feel certain parts of you because of the blockages in your spinal column, specifically at the brainstem in your case, that are blocking you from the ability to experience connection to those parts of yourself. You still have connectedness to them. You just can't feel that because it's blocked by the spinal column thing, which won't take a ton of work. 3 sessions is like nothing, by the way. When you talk to someone like my ass who spent 50 zillion hours healing all kinds of shit and still does, 3 sessions is nothing. Okay, so cool. I'm glad that you get what I'm saying, Jacqueline. My pleasure. Thank you. Rochelle, did your left ear, thank you, Rochelle, for the info. Did your left ear hurt before you started talking to me about this, or did it just start when I called attention to it? Either way is fine. I just want to understand. And while you tell me, please feel into your left ear. I don't know what no means. Do you mean that no, it didn't hurt when we started? No, it didn't start when I mentioned it. I need you to be more specific, my love. No, it did. Did tea hurt before? No, it didn't hurt before. Okay. Okay, cool. So we brought our attention to it, and now you're aware of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, seems to be easing up though. Is it easing up for you? Does it feel different now? Okay, good. One second. There's a little bit more here. So, and everybody else, might seem like an odd request, but everybody bring your attention for 1 second to your left ear, just the inside of your left ear. Yeah, so we're calling up into conscious awareness anything and everything for all the people hearing these words right now, present today on this Facebook Live. Everything causing or holding in place anything they ever struggle with in their left ear. Anything they struggle with, anyone hearing these words right now, in any part of their body physically, we're calling it all up into conscious awareness. Asking for a multi-dimensional time-space clearing across all time, dimension, space, reality for everybody at this Facebook Live. Calling up into conscious awareness anything past life, karmic, or this life that's unprocessed, that's causing anybody hearing these words to have any physical challenges right now in their body. Okay, and everybody listening, if you can please be in your body and feel what comes up while we're doing this, and then sink your attention, your energetic awareness right into whatever comes up. Whatever feels terrible, I hate to say, but go right into that. It'd be funny if you were like a random person on Facebook and you just hopped on this right now and you saw me like making these noises and doing this shit. Good, stay with it. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Allah, 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 stay with it. Allah, 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 Allah. Allah, 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 Allah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammad abduhu wa rasulullah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Okay. We're calling up into conscious awareness for everybody on this Facebook Live right now. All of the causes and conditions at the root, all the core causes and conditions at the base, core, center point or points of any and all physical ailments or injuries or issues or irritations that anybody on this live is struggling with. We ask that it all be processed now, released, integrated, cleared, uncreated, destroyed across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Oh. You guys, a bunch of different things are getting worked on. This is very cool. And Leslie, if you're not doing this already, know that this is also for you. I'm sure you're participating, but if you're not, please just take it. The light is for you as well. There's something for you here too about the anxiety and your physical stuff. Stay with what feels uncomfortable inside of you, everybody. Maybe it's behind the eyes. Maybe it's in the third eye. Maybe it's in the throat, the heart, the belly, the pelvic floor, the genitals, the ankles, the hamstrings, the knees. It could be anywhere. Nigel wants to come up and say hi. This is Nigel, the puppy dog. He might be living here with Squeezel and I. Big news at the Katie household. Yeah, I think he's part of this, process. Stay with it. Good job. A couple of you just dropped more fully into your physical body than you've ever been before. Hallelujah. Alhamdulillah, which means all praise to the one. All praise to the one. Thank you for dropping us into our physical form and clearing what creates difficulty for being in the physical form for us. Very blessed to be connected to Source in this way. Okay, they're still kind of like pulling out the last ends of that, but they'd like to take a couple more questions. I'm glad it feels better, Rochelle. Wow, now I can't read because I'm blind. Okay, does anyone else want to add anything based on any of that, including how are you doing right now, everybody? Is anything weird in your body that you could use facilitation with? Please write it in the chat now. And or does anybody else have a question about their own process? Thank you, Sarah. I love him too. Couldn't stop burping. Totally get it. That was intense. Yeah, it sure was. Just so you guys know, this comes up a lot. It's very understandable, right? People apologize a lot for burping when I do sessions with them or throwing up. It kind of happens a lot, to be honest with you. It's super normal. When you think about how the gut is the second brain. That's our new understanding in society these days. The gut runs a lot of stuff with your nervous system, with your feelings, with your brain, with your awareness, with your energy. The gut is pretty damn important. So of course there would be burping and vomiting and throwing up and gas and farting because we're storing so much of our unprocessed emotional stuff in the body and specifically in the gut. Metaphorically, think of it as everything you were unable to digest in your past, the trauma, the emotions, the abandonment, the abuse that you couldn't digest in the past becomes energy that you physically can't digest through in the future. So then you burp and you can digest better. And that's literal and metaphoric. Rochelle says, my ear feels so open. Yay. Didn't even know it wasn't open. Hooray. I'm so glad to hear it. Yeah, that's awesome. Happy to hear it, Rochelle. That's great. Okay, Sarah's still burping. Is there more for us to do for her? No, that's going to process through. Sarah, you're doing great. Yeah, just let it kind of happen. There's a bunch of energy still moving for all of us here right now. All right, what else? Do other folks have questions? Please throw them in the chat. Now's your chance. Including you, Jacqueline, if you have a follow-up question to the earlier stuff. And if anybody wrote anything but I didn't see it, please feel free to say it again because I don't remember. Oh, I see Charlie wrote something. Similar anxiety fears as Jacqueline. I'm scrolling back now, but when I get nervous, I cut myself off to my connection to the divine. I don't breathe. I'm such a grammar asshole. My God. I'm a grammar Nazi. I am a Jew. The Nazis killed my people. And now I'm a Nazi to everybody else's grammar. I'm going to work on that. And I'm pure head, but I don't want to be. I want to speak my deepest truths and more so when I'm nervous, not less. Okay, that's really good, Charlie. Jennifer B says stomach. Can you help me understand what you mean by stomach, Jennifer B? You mean like you're feeling something in your stomach right now? Can you write a full sentence about what's happening in your stomach? In the meantime, let's look at this thing, Charlie. So when you feel anxious, Charlie, you speak less of your truth, right? Okay. Connected to letting go of but what is connected to letting go of past family trauma? What's happening in your stomach? Can you tell me more, please, about physically, actually, what's happening in your stomach at this moment? Charlie, let me focus on Charlie for a second here. So we're calling up into conscious awareness for Charlie, everything that's causing her to get smaller and less honest and more afraid and more closed up, more shut down when she feels nervous. Breathe into the pit of your pelvic like the pit of the second chakra, Charlie, almost like right between where the first chakra and the second chakra meet, like down, 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 down. Feel into that. Like just above the genitals, inside the pelvis. Okay, so anybody and everybody on this call will do a group healing on this. We're calling up into conscious awareness for Charlie. What creates this closing up when she's nervous, this being less honest when she's nervous, and any and all sexual abuse trauma for anybody here today on this Facebook Live. Everybody, please breathe into your womb space and the pelvic floor. So, Charlie, this will make sense to you, I think. But when the trauma was happening, the stuff we've been working on lately, you and I, um, obviously a young baby being attacked and abused in this way would clamp down, pull inward, shut down when they're being violated inappropriately. It's right. You would just go, to protect yourself. Think about like if I threw a softball at your face really fast, you'd go, that would be like your instinct in the nervous system, right? That's what we're processing here is that clenched, don't hurt me. And so also it's the nervous system, how do I say, building a wall, like a protective shell or bubble around the trauma so that the rest of you doesn't have to feel it and die from it. Because when you're a baby, if you were to feel all of this trauma and all of this pain that you're now processing when you were a baby, it would literally kill you. It would be too much for the nervous system. You would die. So the nervous system has this built-in fail-safe where it just clamps down around a trauma that's too much for a baby. Then you get to be in your 30s or 40s or 50s and face it then. Hooray! Fun times. Okay. Does that make sense to you, Charlie? And do you have any follow-up questions and what's happening in your body? Jennifer B., let me work with you for a moment. Can you tell me more about what's happening in your stomach right now, Jennifer B.? Connected to letting go of past family trauma. Because I get a no on that. Or is it a no on hearing from you? Stomach. What about the stomach for Jennifer B? So we're calling up into conscious awareness for Jennifer B. Everything creating whatever she's got going on in her stomach right now. Asking for it to be processed, cleared, released, uncreated, destroyed across all time, dimension, space, and reality. Okay, Charlie, what? Okay, feeling nervous and a bit emotional. Good. Sink into the nervousness and feel that. Jennifer B, faceless, not showing up facade. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. I need you to say sentences, my love. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean. What does that have to do with your stomach, my love? But either way, oof, we're moving energy for Charlie and Jennifer right now. Whatever is causing whatever Jennifer's talking about, because I'm not tracking, we ask that you take us to the center of it for her and that you take Charlie to the center of the cause of the nervousness. So both Jennifer and Charlie, please feel into the discomfort you're feeling right now. Go right to the worst of it just for a moment. all the unprocessed trauma that causes Jennifer's fakeness and Charlie's contracting when she's nervous. Yeah, feel that right now, please, Jennifer and Charlie. Feel it now. Whew. Take the opportunity. It's what we're here for. Good. Oh, that's good. Whew. And everybody else listening, just know, because I'm in the records of this group, whatever we're moving for them, anything you have that's in any way similar or connected is coming up now too and moving. So you can stay present to your internal process while I'm working with them, because chances are good it's doing something for you. Self-judgment, buying other people's judgments as mine and not being able to be fully. Not being able to be fully. I think that's what you mean. Yeah. Cool. There's a lot here, Jennifer. You're kind of talking about 5 or 6 different things at once. Just 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9 things. 9 things at once. So I'm just going to ask that it all be touched on and processed, that we be brought to the core and the root of all the 9 things Jennifer's facing right now. Believing the judgments of herself. Whew. Not showing up authentically, being insincere, and whatever's happening in her stomach. And for Charlie, everything causing her to clamp down when she's nervous, instead of open up and be honest and tell the truth. Oof. If either of you need a place to feel into the brainstem right now. If you're working with a different part, stay with that. And for everybody who's here today, anything and everything causing anyone here to be less authentic than they'd like to be, to tell the truth less fully than they'd like to when they're nervous. Good. The more deeply you guys sink into the problem, the pain, the discomfort, the resistance, the more we can move in one chunk of time. Okay. Whew. Good stuff, you guys. Okay, Charlie, how's the place where you were feeling nervous and a bit emotional now? What's happening there? And Jennifer, what are you noticing is happening in your stomach or anywhere else right now? If you guys could type that in, that would be great. It's just an organic pause in the energy here. And anybody else? We've got 5 minutes left. So anybody else who has a question, now's your time. Throw it in the chat, please. Don't be shy. Whew, this is deep stuff, you guys. Super vulnerable, super deep. You're doing great work. Way to take the opportunity and use it. I appreciate you. Remember what I said moments ago. Every time you do even just a little bit of your own healing work like this, you have no idea who in your family and in your friend group and in your connected circle and in your tribe and in your community and in the world across the planet is benefiting. All these people you're connected to in any way from any dimension or lifetime, they're benefiting from you doing this right now. That's not just woo-woo nonsense. That's like happening. Charlie says, it's shifted. The back shoulders are very tense. Okay, cool. So that's where we'll feel into next. Rochelle says, thanks, my other ear cleared. Yay, I'm so glad. Jennifer B gives a thumbs up. I'm glad to hear it. If you have time for one more, yes. Is it in the highest good for me to try to get to Mexico for spring break? Money, fear involved here. Let me sit into that, Sarah. Yeah, it feels good. I think too, part of what it's about is everything that will come up for you around getting it together would be great stuff to bring to Star Beings or a couple sessions, you know? Like they're like, yeah, go for it. And everything that comes up around it is what we want to have come up for you. Good trip. Gonna be good. Definitely go for it. Good, go. Back and shoulders are very tense. Okay. Let's do one last clearing piece here, you guys, for the group on the back and shoulders. So everybody in the group, if you can feel into anywhere you've got anything going on in the back and shoulders. Cool. Got you, Sarah. Rock on. Charlie, feel right into the densest parts of that holding. Now, everybody remember, don't try to make the shoulder back stuff go away. Just be present with it. Good. Glad to hear it, Jennifer. So everybody be present with your back and shoulder stuff, or back or shoulder stuff. Good, be present with it. Charlie, there's a connection between the tightness in the back and shoulders and that same spot from before. The space between the first and second chakras down at the below the belly button, like a full hands width distance below, like this far down below the belly button. Don't hold back your crying, Jennifer. Let the crying out and let the anger out. So Charlie, feel into both places at the same time. That low belly thing and the, yeah, shoulders and back. Good. Stay with it, everybody, for just one more moment. Anything you're sitting with. Okay, so I'm asking spirit and consciousness to keep this light moving for everyone for whom it is appropriate. Everyone who's here who can hear these words, keep this light moving even after we close, but in a way that each of their nervous systems respectively can handle without sending them into radical healing crisis. Okay, I want to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion, the lords of the records for their point of view, and the Holy Spirit of light for all knowledge and healing. And as you return everybody here today on this live or hearing these words, energy to themselves now, please. I ask that you return everyone here to their complete human wholeness now. The divine portal and the Akashic records of everybody on this Facebook Live are now closed. Amen. The divine portal and the Akashic records of everybody on this Facebook Live are now closed. Amen. The divine portal and the Akashic records of everybody here on this Facebook Live and hearing these words are now closed. Amen, amen, amen. Shadawan la ilaha illallah, Shadawan Muhammad abduhu wa Rasulullah. Amen. Okay. All right, my friends. I think for a few of you, that's the energy is going to keep working you while you sleep tonight, like now and while you sleep. Also for the next 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 or 5 for a couple of you. Don't panic if the next couple of days are a little weird. It's just the energy working. Oh, it's my pleasure, Charlie. Thank you. And thank you, Rochelle. I so appreciate you guys. And Sarah, I'm so glad it was helpful. Thank you guys for being here. Remember, you guys, bring your friends to Katie Church. It's a great way for people to get some free energy healing. Also, for those of you looking for energy healing but can't afford private sessions, consider my subscription series, which is much more affordable. Oh my God, both dogs just woke up. This is dog one. You know, the essence of all doggery. Squeezle the Diesel just came to life because she knows we're done. Who's the Beast? Can you say hi to everybody, Beast? She's like, I finished healing everyone, Mom. I'm going to go do dog stuff now. Go to katierubin.com and join the subscription series. It's $99 a month. Crazy affordable. And you get a healing at the beginning of the month and the end of the month right to your email inbox. Pretty powerful stuff. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Be good. And I'm going to see you more than likely next week, same time, same place. Bring your friends. Love you. Bye.